Alrighty, welcome back to another video. Today I have the privilege of giving you a world exclusive on all of the information on Viego, the Rune King, which Red Mercy basically had already figured out everything for multiple weeks. Still though, I figured this champion was probably an easy guess with like a literal game revolving around this lad. It probably only makes sense that he was going to make an appearance in League of Legends at some point in the roster, beyond just being like a sword that you can buy. Still waiting on seeing Doran be a champion at this point. I mean, he made Wukong's staff, he made like Master Yi's goggles, and he was Yi's master, so regardless, thank you so much for stopping by on this video. I know you're probably being flooded by videos of Viego Surveil, and I appreciate that, and all that slew of information, you quick to the person, probably least analytically able to tell you if Viego is actually going to be strong in the game or not, but still welcome if you're new here on this channel. As chief and staff of the For Fun movement, there are many terrible stupid ideas you can try here with your friends, which I recommend giving a try. You want to play League of Legends in a weird, crazy, fun way. So subscribe if you're new, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention in this video that for everybody interested that my clothing line, Psycho Apparel, it's having a major January sale that ends very soon, so if you fancied anything and we're unsure about the pricing, we're having up to 50% off right now. I should mention as well that I got this info like a day early to make some content on it, so shout out to Riot for that one. I ain't had a chance to play him yet though. Also Riot, I see what you're doing here, making Senna the target dummy for all the abilities. You ain't slick. Enough shilling though, on to business. So Viego is Dante from Devil May Cry, with Mihawk from One Piece's sword, and his abilities are kind of interesting. With a passive that seems like a cross between Mordekaiser and Silas, he is definitely going to be causing a little bit of chaos. Don't forget, by the way, if you think of any funny builds for Viego, we'll be doing videos on him the second that he hits the PBE, so you might want to hit the notification bell too, and comment down below if you see, or if you think of any funny builds we can maybe go for him, or if you're interested in seeing the Rune King with 6 blades of the Rune King. So his passive is Sovereign's Domination. He can possess an enemy champion he is part of a takedown in, healing for a portion of their max HP, and during this possession, his items, attacks, and all of his basic abilities become those of the target slain enemy. Consider this: you're kind of low HP, you manage to bring down a Cho'Gath, you possess the Cho'Gath, only to discard his body almost immediately, except you gain 3000 HP for doing so. From just this passive alone, this screams Focus Viego to me, a champion that you should never ever risk allowing to live. God forbid that they have Triumph on. One misstep and suddenly they're back to incredible levels of HP and are now blasting your own team's abilities directly at your face. While he's inside a champion, he also gets extra movement speed when pushing down enemy champions. So think of like Kled when he's off Scarl and he's able to move faster towards him. His Q is literally the Blade of the Rune King item in its passive. Its passive lets him deal percentage of the target's current health as bonus on hit. When he attacks an enemy he is just hit with an ability though, the attack double strikes. The second strike of which will steal health from the target instead of its regular extra damage, still applying on hits though and persisting into his possession abilities. It can also crit, by the way. The active of it though, however, is just that he kind of stabs forward, hits every enemy in a line, and damages everything in its way. Still though, that 6 Blade of the Rune King's build, is it looking so stupid now, is it? It's really 7 Blades of the Rune King, really. His W is Spectral Maw, and much like Dante from Devil May Cry, Viego charges up and dashes his sword forward, stunning the first enemy hit. The stun and the miss that stuns you scale with charge time that you put on this, but your damage and your dash range do not. And I know I'm mentioning Devil May Cry a lot here, but I mean, like Samira, you can get Savage rank and then you can ultimate like, you know, like Dante. Samira has a single sword and a single gun, making her really similar to Nero. But the W on this, the animation for Viego's W is very similar to Dante's Stinger from Devil May Cry. I don't want to send mixed signals here, but yes, Riot, go on, lads. Viego's E is Harrowed Path. I want you to think a little bit like a Kali's Shroud mixed with Kiana's ultimate. He spreads a wave of mist on a wall, and whilst he's in that mist, he becomes camouflaged and gets attack speed and movement speed. really thematically in line with the Shadow Isles, with all the mist and stuff like that we see like in Kalista, and like the way she works and all this kind of stuff. Also, it's camouflaged, which means you're not invisible. If you use it when you're next to an enemy, it will do nothing. I mean, if you walk at a range, then that can make it work. But I think this is just going to be a move that like can cause a little bit of chaos in fights if they happen to lose track of you. It also makes you like untargetable, which means that auto-attacking you near the wall if you're moving really fast and moving around might be a little bit more difficult. Regardless, it's great for running from a bad fight, or chasing if they are stupid enough to stick to walls whilst you're after them. And the extra attack speed means as well that you probably do not want to be trying to duel Viego inside his mist wall. Oh god. He's a league boss equivalent of the fog door from Dark Souls. His ultimate is Heartbreaker. Now, from what I can gather from the videos, you can use this ability if you're not possessing an enemy, but if you are inside an enemy, it will discard the body that you're inside. You'll teleport forward, attack the enemy champion with the lowest percentage health that is nearby the range of that ability. It'll deal extra damage based on how much health they're missing. And when he does this, anybody else in the range of that attack will get knocked away. Now, this could lead to some pretty nasty resets depending on the cooldown of this ability, which is not shown because it is an execute ability too. You could bring down one target, ulti onto another one to kill, steal that person's abilities and HP, and then ulti again onto somebody else, and then just go down the line like bricking PCs like you're playing Pike. The only thing that I think keeps this ability like balanced, if it does work in the way of resets, and it isn't explicitly mentioned here, but honestly, who knows, because I haven't got even cooldowns here on the details that I've got in front of me. I think this is going to maintain some kind of balance, because I would be willing to wager the damage that you do and the damage that it scales off of is entirely based on the items and the AP and AD or whatever that you've stolen from the enemy champion that you're currently possessing. Because when you're Viego and you actually take somebody's possession, or you take possession of somebody, you lose all your items temporarily and you have to deal with what they have currently. So realistically, if you're hard stomping an enemy team and they're really far behind, you could potentially be making yourself easier to kill if you possess the 0 and 8 Leona, who hasn't even finished her first mythic item at like 24 minutes into the game. Still, it does look like you can use this ability without possessing anybody. So that first teleport is potentially going to hurt a lot, depending on the scaling of it. That being said, it doesn't look like you can actually choose who it targets. It just seems to pick the lowest health, like, percentage target within an entire range. So, like, there could be a Nautilus or a Cho'Gath with 24% of his HP, and there could be a Vayne with 25% of her HP. She's got 200 HP though, and the Cho'Gath's got 600, and you end up not getting a kill because the thing decides it wants to target whoever's got the lowest percentage. And yeah, it could be an issue. I don't know. I mean, it's just gonna be interesting to see what happens realistically. I think it's rare that Riot are releasing a champion potentially with resets that actually has like a double-edged sword to it. Like with Pike, there isn't really a tremendous like downside to just spamming ulti unless you like actually just miss one, and then that is what it is. But the ulti size is really big, and like there's a lot of champions that you maybe don't necessarily pay as much attention to as you should, or you're not able to get on them in a fight. Like Darius can go from 0 to 100 real fast just by like spamming resets, and like those resets can be really dirty. Katarina as well, a bit nasty. But regardless, I'm going to be really interested to see how this gets on. And honestly, thank you so much for clicking on this video and having a look at it to see if maybe Viego was up to you. Like, I don't want to get into like the proper like statistical analysis, because honestly, I don't have any statistics in front of me. I wish I did, to know exactly what the damage was and what the scaling was, because then I would already be theory crafting exactly what I'm going to be doing on him. But it looks like he's an 80 top laner from what I can gauge. Certainly, I think there's potential for him to go in other lanes as well. Like, I don't see him being mid out with the realms of possibility. I don't see him being jungle out with the realms of possibility. Hell, I mean, even like bot lane, I mean, I wouldn't probably put him in like AD carry, but like I'll probably end up playing him as a support just to see how he does. But still, I'm really excited. This is going to be the first actual champion of Season 11. I guess like Rel was made during preseason, but I don't really know if that counts. But yeah, first new champion of season 11. He's pretty hyped, to be honest. He's got a whole game coming out about him, and he is the edgiest man alive. He may be overtaking Yone as far as edgy boys go, but only time will tell. So if you're excited for Viego and you're interested to see some new videos on him from me, please consider clicking like. I mean, I'm just thankful that you decided to click on this video. If you got to this part of the video, you're an absolute gangster. So if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to check out the Psycho Apparel store down in the description as well. And I will see you all later. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the reveal, the season 11 reveal for everything that's happening tomorrow, probably around the time this video gets posted. I'll be watching it as well live on stream on Twitch, hopefully, where I'll also be playing Viego the second he's available. So if you want to follow me on Twitch too down below, that would also be really cool. Have a great one. I'll see you later. Bye.